Hi Aries, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your August 2022 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who've liked, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And for those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's a Celtic CrossFit as always, and I also pulled a 4 agreements, Wisdom and the Oracle, and Mudra card for you guys. We're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus will be as far as that goes. Alright, so we have the South Node, and the South Node is in Scorpio, which for you guys is your 8th house of death, rebirth, intimacy, investments. We have 3, so 3rd house for you guys is Gemini, and that's the house of communication, short journeys, siblings. Astrologically speaking, I think we're going to have Mars move in there around a little bit past the midpoint of August. And let's see, we have Scorpio. So yeah, once again, we see that 8th house energy popping up for you guys. All right, moving on to your actual tarot spread. In the main situation position, we have the 8 of Cups, which is Pisces energy, and then challenging that, we have the 6 of Cups, which is Scorpio energy. So, what I'm seeing with these 2 cards coming out could just be saying that you guys might finally be walking away from something from your past that you were possibly romanticizing. So if it wasn't an actual situation, even just looking back on a situation from your past that maybe you were having difficulty putting behind you, and this could just be saying that the reason why might have been that you were just looking back on the situation with rose-colored glasses, kind of, you know, like picturing the situation being much better than it actually was. And I feel like this is saying that this month you actually might be finally putting that behind you. Now, if that's the case, it would make sense that you guys might have been going through that for a while because you've had Neptune in your 12th house forever, which could lead to an energy like that. And then you guys also had Jupiter moving through your 12th house for a while too. Now it's in your sign, and it's going to be retrograde throughout August, moving back toward Pisces. So that could be what's helping you release that situation. All right, in the foundation position, we have the Ace of Swords. So for a lot of you, could just be saying that that realization might just come to you all of a sudden, you know, where, like I said, a situation that you've just been looking back on, feeling like, oh, this was such a great situation, right? All of a sudden one day it might click to you where you might start to see it through a more realistic lens and realize that actually maybe it wasn't all that I had it cracked up to be in my mind. All right. Past position, we have the 8 of Pentacles, Virgo energy. Death the reverse, Scorpio energy, which of course we saw with the dice as well, and the Tower reversed. So what I see with these cards, to me it says that whatever the situation was, it feels like this is saying that in the past you guys were continuing to work toward it, right? You didn't want to let it die, quote unquote, with the Death in reverse and with the Tower in reverse as well, saying that, you know, you didn't want to let it fall apart, basically. So you were putting in your effort to keep it going. For some of you, this definitely could have been around the work situation for sure, given that we see the Pentacles and Virgo energy for you guys is your 6th house. But yeah, looks like for whatever reason you weren't ready to let the situation go. All right, in the present position, we have the King of Swords, which is Aquarius energy, Page of Pentacles, and the 9 of Pentacles. So yeah, more Virgo energy here, and we see going from the 8 to the 9. So for some of you, this could be related to that Ace of Swords we see in the foundation as well. Or like I said, maybe just letting this idea around something go, right? Possibly around finances, given that we see that Pentacle is just out of his reach. And by letting it go, I feel like this is saying that you're actually going to experience some growth, you know? So by letting go of whatever your idealized vision was for something in the past, finally putting it behind you, that's going to lead to some actual growth because it could have just been causing a blockage for you guys. Now, in the more tangible sense, this could even just be saying that there might be a job offer at play for you guys if you did leave behind a previous work situation, and you could find that you're going to be settled in that when we get toward the middle of Virgo season, so moving into September. And with this being Aquarius energy too, it could just be saying that you might find out that news around Aquarius full moon in the middle of August. All right, speaking of the moon and the near future position, we have the moon, the Four of Swords, Libra energy, and Seven of Swords, Aquarius energy. So yeah, again, especially given that the full moon will be in Aquarius, could just be saying that there's going to be something that comes to light around that time, and that could even be that sudden realization that you guys have. And maybe it's going to be a healing situation for you, where again, like I said, maybe you'll look back on a situation that you were romanticizing in the past and realizing that you're being taken advantage of in the situation. Now, given that this is Aquarius energy, it could just be even pointing to friendships as well. So maybe you had some friends who were taking advantage of you, right? And maybe you kept putting in the effort to maintain the friendship, doing favors for them, and maybe you wake up one day to the realization that they weren't necessarily reciprocating that energy toward you, right? So that's what I see with that. All right. In the position of your influence in the situation, we have the Lovers. So this is the major arcana card for Gemini, and we did see third house energy come up here in the dice as well. And this could just be saying that, in a way, I feel like this is, again, pointing to a bit of a release for you guys, where you have this realization where you're holding on to something, romanticizing it. Now I feel like this is saying that you're letting that go, right, and just letting things work themselves out. Especially, like I said, it looks like you might have been the one more hands-on situations, whether it was a work situation, a friendship, a one-to-one romantic connection, you name it. Looks like this is saying you were putting in a lot of effort and maybe not receiving that energy back. So it could just be saying that you're letting go of that and just trusting that, you know what, I'll let things be worked out the way they're meant to be worked out behind the scenes, as opposed to being so proactive around it. All right. In the environment position, we have the Knight of Pentacles. So yeah, to me, this is another indicator similar to what we were talking about with that Page of Pentacles and then the Nine of Pentacles. I feel like this is another indicator that's saying that once you do let go of that control around the situation, it's actually going to free up a blockage for you guys and bring more opportunities your way. Again, this could definitely be related to finances for a lot of you, given that we see, again, that Virgo energy, which is Pentacles, and also your house of work for you guys. So it could definitely be a work thing. All right, in the hopes or fears position, we have the Magician in reverse. So I'm going to assume that for a lot of you, this would be a fear, given that it's in reverse, right? And maybe you feel like you can't change your circumstances in some way, right? Or at least that could have been what was going on to this point. Like I said, it does look like at some point, possibly when we do have that full moon in Aquarius, you're going to come to that realization that actually maybe I can change things, right? Maybe the situation I was in the past wasn't all that great. And rather than long for that to return or to maintain it, you could move towards something new. Some of this could be a fear around someone in your environment that you might feel like someone's trying to pull one over on you, given that we did see that Seven of Swords in the near future too. So even though it's in the near future, given that we see that Seven of Swords with the Four of Swords, for a lot of you, I feel like this is more of you guys healing from a past situation where there was some deception at play, as opposed to new deception being on the horizon. All right, and in the outcome position, we have the Four of Cups. So this is actually Cancer energy here. Now, at the time I'm recording this, we're technically not done with Cancer season. So even though this is in the outcome position, this could even just be pointing to the energy you guys might feel like you're in right now, where maybe there's some opportunities coming your way, but you're not necessarily too pleased with those opportunities. And for some of you, that could even be, again, because you're still holding on to a past situation and looking at it through those rose-colored glasses, right? So for a lot of you, I feel like you will be able to get out of this. But worst case, if this is just saying that some opportunities coming your way aren't necessarily catching your interest in a way you'd hope for, I'd look for a shift in that around toward the middle of August, when Venus will be in your fifth house, and then worst case, maybe a little bit later than that still, when Mars moves into your house of communication. So those will be two, I think, beneficial transits for you guys for sure. All right, and bottom of the deck we have the Knight of Cups. So yeah, I just see this as an energy of movement, right? Maybe turning something that might have been a bit of an impractical vision that you were holding and actually turn it into something more tangible, like we see with the Knight of Pentacles in the environment position there, and actually moving forward. So or you guys might have been stuck in a situation for a while, or just replaying a certain situation in your minds over and over. I feel like this is saying that you're actually going to do that forward movement this month. And it can represent someone coming toward you with offers as well. And that might even be part of the spark that helps you put the past behind you too. But let's see what we got for the 4 agreements. All right, so we have don't make assumptions, and it says be aware of unconscious assumptions. So let's see what it says. All right, it says assumptions are made so fast and unconsciously most of the time because we have agreements to communicate this way. We have agreed that it is not safe to ask questions. We have agreed that if people love us, they should know what we want or how we feel. So yeah, I'm really not seeing a whole lot of communication in general with the spread, which is interesting, especially given that we do see the Gemini energy came up for you guys in the dice as well. But I guess it's a pretty helpful message in general. So hopefully you guys got something from that. And then with the Wisdom Oracle, this is your card here, Loyal Heart. There's the artwork, and the number is 35. All right, so let's see what this is about. Okay, it says fidelity, loyalty, devotion. The Oracle's message. Evidence of loyalty will appear in your life. Others will prove that they are faithful to you, and you will in turn commit fully to them. There is a sure and abiding certainty in your heart. Know that Spirit is always loyal to you. No matter the outer circumstances in your life, trust and have faith, for you are eternally loved, always divinely protected, and divinely directed. So definitely an interesting message there, because the part where it said trust and have faith, that made me think of what we were talking about with the Lover's card there. So I can see where that comes into play as far as that goes. And the relationship message says your partnerships, friendships, and romantic relationships all have many qualities in common right now. Honest devotion, faithfulness, and a loyal heart are being shown to you. Are you as loyal in return? Now is the time for heartfelt commitments and trusting in divine protection. So yeah, definitely an interesting message there as well. And like I said, as far as this blockage that gets cleared for you guys, maybe this was also you guys closing yourselves off in a bit because maybe you did go through a deceptive situation in the past, right? And like I said, with that Aquarius full moon, I feel like that's going to be the key, given the Aquarius energies we're seeing in the spread, where you might just come to a realization around that you could let that go, right? And it could just be saying that people in your lives now, you might not have to look at them through that same skeptical lens that you might have had to apply in the past. So hopefully that resonated. The prosperity message says your long-term loyalty to your goals is becoming evident in the world of conditions where your aspirations for success assume form in reality. Success is finally taking shape. If you are loyal to your dreams, faithful to your plans while remaining flexible, and devoted to serving others, you will be shown proof of your true prosperity. This is a time for a joyful celebration of spirit, your manifesting partner. So yeah, definitely a pretty positive message there as well. Yeah, like I said, it definitely looks like there's going to be some opportunities coming your way. We talked about that in the present position, where, like I said, even though it's present, I feel like this is more around toward the middle of the month when they have that Aquarius full moon, especially given the cards we see there as well. But yeah, it looks like things are going to open up for you guys. Looks like there was just some kind of blockage that you guys had to overcome. Looks like it's going to hit you guys quite suddenly. Like I said, it seems like that Aquarius full moon is going to be a key turning point for you guys, and then things seem to move forward from there. All right, and lastly, we have a Mudra for you guys. So this is your Mudra here. It's the Phupphusomocana Mudra, and the keyword for it is ventilation. All right. Let's see. Can we fit everything in the frame? Close, but not really. All right. So what I'll do is, let me get it to focus again. There we go. I'll hold it up for a second if you want to pause it to take a screenshot of what it has to say there. Then we'll get everything else into the frame. And that way you could read the rest as well. But yeah, under benefits, it says clears the airways, opens the chest, and improves the elasticity of the rib cage, facilitating ease of breathing, strengthens the immune system, specifically reducing susceptibility to lung-related complaints, helps the processing of grief and sadness, helps lift the heaviness of depression. So interesting to see that as well. Maybe that's what it was for some of you. Maybe you were going through some depression, like I said, possibly romanticizing the past, and then you come to a realization that maybe that situation from the past wasn't all you had it cracked up to be, right? And then that opens your eyes to the opportunities in front of you, which appear to be better for sure. So hopefully that resonated with you guys. We'll wrap up there, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.